Good afternoon, I'm Tiro, and this is Miscellaneous Extras for Project Pius. Okay, first off, this website came out just yesterday, and actually sent news presses to all the video game communities and stuff. I just find it very funny that it came out. More than likely, it's just a promotional for Dante's Inferno, but we'll find out, I believe, in 2 days from now. So, moving on. Yeah, basically what I'm going to cover. Okay, combos. There are a lot of little formulaic devotional prayers, such as the rosary, the litanies, the various offices, and novenas. And I was or at least I was thinking about using that as a mechanic for the game. This is kind of going off from the platform days, at least the time I was thinking of it as a platformer, and where you do a certain prayer or song in a pattern, A, B, A, B or something, and then you get a move. The only other game to do something like that is Mega Man Battle Network with the Program Advance. So if I were to apply this, I'm not sure if it was a go for the singer or a singer type class, and whether or not it could be a single person or group combo, or at least I then realized that this could be a very good situation for a combination or a group attack. However, with group attacks, you have to deal with formations, and I want to keep it simple like in the original Final Fantasies, it's just the row order. But then I realized there are certain things, like with the rosary, which, it's attached to an object or, a book, so maybe I can have the characters equip a certain pattern of accessories in order to pull off a combo, or to do this skill. And also I realized that this combination attack would be very useful to use a angel or saint mechanic. Okay, and speaking of saints, they have a huge mythology and source of material for things to do. Originally I thought of them as being a card, so you use a certain saint card to get a one-time skill or effect. Also, there's the medal system, in which they would work like relics, kind of like, you put on a Saint Sebastian medal and you're protected against, piercing attacks. Even before I thought of the social combat system, this was more like of a one of the rewards you would get from dealing with the town. So you deal a lot of charity, a kid gives you their favorite card, and therefore you can use it in battle. The thing is, though, this kind of goes to item bloat of the throwable items in Final Fantasy, where all the magic skills, all the magic spells are in item form for the melee characters to use them. I don't know if I want to do that. This also reminded me of maybe having a stamp book quest type of deal in Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, where you catch all the saints or complete the collection book and then you get something. Okay, vices. I thought of using them as status conditions, and in doing so, I am admitting that status conditions are purely for the enemy. They are no way whatsoever for the player's benefits, because the status condition turns an annoying enemy to an evil one. For example, here we have Caterpie, and then we have Weedle. Weedle causes poison, and these are very early monsters you can get in the Pokemon game. So, guess which one is more annoying to deal with, especially when you have no money for antidotes. I was thinking about making them particularly for the demons and more sinister, in that the only way to remove these status conditions would be through the penance system. But then again, I'm balancing between annoying and just drudgery of a video game work, which is not fun. And I realized that in the application, although characters get these status conditions, they affect the whole party. I don't know if that's a big issue, or maybe re-emphasizes just a slightly different mechanic, because I'm dealing with a mythology. Okay, vices. Again, dealing with the source material and seeing what different things I can come up with. Okay, pride. Basically, I was thinking of paralyzing the entire party except the person with pride. So you get a single combat challenge, and we all know how difficult that is. Greed, I'm taking from Dokapon Kingdom, where I just lock out the shops, you can't buy anything. This is a problem because if you can't have money to get items to maybe sacrifice in the temple to remove it, or to deal with the penance system, you're really screwed. So I don't know if I would want to play around with, or it shows you to the degree I can deal with character, or at least enemy design. Lust naturally can be charm, but what if I include demonic possession? It'll work exactly like charm, or in the next one it'll also work like charm, so it's kind of boring and redundant. So the original form of lust was luxury. I'm thinking about you double the cost of items in shops, or double the cost of using skills because you're being extravagant. Functional but annoying. Anger, naturally berserk, which is why I'm saying it's kind of like charm. I don't know if it'll attack all the characters or just the enemies, but the point is you won't have spiritual combat, which is detrimental. Gluttony, double the item usage. Instead of 1 potion for healing, you have to use 2. I could be very evil and make the extra item used to be random. So let's say you just want to use your potion for 50 health, and because you're gluttonous, you have to use the random item chosen was an elixir. Yes, very evil. I have to balance between annoying, difficult, and drudgerous. Envy. The way I thought of applying this is that the person that gets envy will take damage whenever someone else gets a good skill on them. So if the party leader is envious, then anyone else who gets healed or buffed will trigger him to take damage. So that kind of locks out any enhancing skills for the time being. And sloth naturally can be paralysis or making the character go last. I find this boring, especially considering how insidious the rest of the status conditions are. So a subset of sloth is despair, in which not only are you paralyzed, but you don't want to live, so you lose hit points every turn, kind of like poison. Considering there's permadeath, poison will be a very critical condition if I were ever to put it in a monster design. And then there's the virtues, which I don't quite know what to do. These are kind of like the religious orders, in which I know I'm going to use them, but I don't quite know how. Originally, I thought up of them as having an elemental system, where you have faith, hope, and love as kind of like celestial virtues, and then you have the cardinal virtues, temperance, fortitude, prudence, and the other one, as kind of lower things, and just shoehorn earth, wind, fire, and maybe ice, light, and thunder at the top. I don't know, kind of boring. It's difficult because you can't shoehorn an effect to a virtue. Then one of the viewers commented on how virtues can kind of be like vices, as in buffs or debuffs for the enemy, so that's better. And then I threw in social combat, and this seems to be the best place for them, because virtues are how you interact with people, and social combat is going to be interaction, so I don't know if they will be used as stats or skills in that situation. I don't know. Okay, and patterns. Like I said, dealing with a lot on my plate, most of it's going to be cut away, and I acknowledge that a combination system would be very useful for angels and saints, but I gotta keep it simple. So, until next time, I'm Tiro, and have fun making games. See ya!